Chris Rock is finally doing some decent stuff. Yeah.
No, of course, I'm talking about Avengers Infinity War.
Yep.
Dude, it has been 10 years in the making. I have been so jazzed and pumped for this. How about you?
Yes. Yeah, I mean, yes.
I love how you stalled for a second there, too.
Like, I was trying to, I was thinking something maybe to, no, yeah, I have. I haven't loved every single step of the way with Marvel like a lot of people have, but I was legitimately excited for this. Yeah, okay. I'll give it that.
Well, a few missteps with the Marvel properties.
Well, there's bound to be, there's bound to be a few missteps. I didn't, but they pulled themselves out. Like the first two Thor movies, I wasn't a huge fan of, and then they made Ragnarok, and I was like, okay, this is great.
That's the thing, though. I like the first Thor movie. The second one, you're right, hot garbage.
Hot garbage.
Just
hot garbage. I'll give the first one like a passing grade, but like the second one, I was like, okay, this character I don't care about. Then Ragnarok came out, I was like, whoa, all right, what are you doing? This is great.
Ragnarok's like, you know what? Yeah, okay, I'll give you a little, just spring a little on you.
Yeah, man.
You know what's wild though, because we're talking, of course, about Infinity War, and I will say that the effects in this were amazing. A lot of stuff blew my mind when I saw them. I thought it was very beautiful. But after that, I went back and watched the first Avengers movie and the first Thor movie. The Avengers was intentional. The first Thor movie was just because it happened to be on TV and I had some time.
Right.
And dude, it was the effects have gone. And the effects in that one were good, but we've gotten so far beyond that point where it was just like, looking into the past, like I see every bit of CG interference here.
Yeah.
It's
that progression, because this one, it had to be on point because Thanos, of course, is basically the only character that gets the most screen time. You know what I mean? Of any character, there's so many to it's bouncing around in this movie to try to give everyone their due. But Thanos is that one character in this movie who's pretty much dominating the film, and he's all CGI.
He is,
and so if it's not good, the movie by virtue of like how it is not going to be a good film. And he looks great. I thought, you know what I mean. The character that had the way they did it was great.
Thanos played by Josh Brolin.
This is the summer of Josh Brolin, by the way. He's got Deadpool 2 coming out, and he's got Sicario 2.
They're finally doing that Goonies sequel as well.
Right. So, but that's 3 huge movies that he's in within like 3 months of each other. You know what I mean? So Josh Brolin finally getting his time in.
Well, it couldn't have happened to a nicer guy, man.
Seriously.
Well, I have no idea. He could be
I hear he's great though, but
no, he's talented as. Yeah, a very, very skilled actor.
Yes.
I'll leave it there.
Yes. And I want to recap this, but I don't know where to start.
Dude, you know what,
all
man?
These movies, like it's this giant culmination of everything that's, like you said, over the last 10 years with a dozen or so characters. You know what I mean? All coming together, and it does suffer sometimes through that trying to get enough people that you like screen time.
Well, people are close to it, so they're gonna want to see their.
They all got their favorite characters, and they want to like, okay, it's like you get it for maybe 5-6 minutes, and then like you won't see him again for 40 minutes.
Well, the only one that ever did it entirely right was Deadpool. When I saw my man Hydra Bob get some screen time, and I'm like, of all the characters, yes,
you need that.
All right, but no, keep it general, keep it like fairly overview, like you're talking to somebody who's unfamiliar with all of this, like you're breaking it down for just Johnny.
Yeah,
the ultimate unfamiliar audience.
Well, I don't even think I'm gonna break it down. I think the people who, if you don't know what's going on, this is not gonna be the movie for you anyway, right?
Well, no, I mean this has become the cultural zeitgeist that everything's gonna be put up against now.
Right.
It's gonna be.
If you watched anything Marvel over the last 10 years, there's something for you in this, unless you're a Hawkeye fan, because I think he got grounded or something.
Clint Barton, we hardly know.
Yeah,
and that's not a spoiler. It's just saying that Jeremy Renner was. I don't know if he wasn't invited back.
I don't know what the deal is, because I was thinking the whole time, I was like, I'm gonna see like an arrow come out of nowhere and it's gonna be him. He's gonna show up.
That would have been kind of cool,
right? So I kept thinking it was. It's not a spoiler to say Jeremy Renner is not in this thing. Paul Rudd is not in this thing,
and they weren't in the advertising. I was hoping when we didn't see him in posters and stuff that they would be kind of like secret weapons, or maybe they would be those few characters that never really got, for some reason, never got into their personas.
Yeah.
So they have like an espionage story on the side. Because Hawkeye, his character has always been a SHIELD agent, and in the comics he's more, super people. He's more meta-human activity inclined.
Right.
But the movies have painted him as a really popping here. The movies have painted him as a Shield agent who just kind of fell into this stuff.
Yeah.
So let's see him do more Shield agency stuff. You know.
Right.
That would have been cool as hell to me.
Yeah.
When I'm sitting there watching dude just like sneaking into bunkers. Taking pictures as like secret stuff. Snuffing out bad guys.
More getting a spy on instead of his superhero stuff.
Yeah, just doing Indian burns, how we can extract information, just that would have been interesting to me. And everyone's talking about, we got to get a Black Widow movie. You're going to do a Black Widow movie. That's what I imagine a Black Widow movie would be.
Yes.
We could have gotten a taste of like that kind of secret spy stuff with Hawkeye because the character's already slated, set up for that.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think you're exactly right. So
I'm doling out great ideas, man.
Not having him in this was it's just a small thing, but yeah, it's like I would care to see him.
Well, I don't think the Hawkeye fan base extends too far beyond like your particular realm of this table.
Right. I think you're correct as well.
I'm not hating on him either, but yeah.
Anyway.
Now the Jeremy Renner fan base, however,
is huge. It better be, because that guy's deserved it. Anyway, so this movie, it basically finds...
Lampoon Spring Break.
No, I think it was Senior Trip.
Was it Senior Trip?
Yeah, Senior Trip. Jeremy Renner and Senior Trip.
That's how important it was to me.
Okay, so how does this movie, what makes this movie tick? It's basically Thanos is trying to collect the Infinity Stones, which he's kind of been hinted at over the last X amount of movies.
Yeah, in all the movies, we've gotten a little taste that there's a cosmic force that might be involved in an extinction level event.
Yes, and you might be thinking, like, what do these stones do? What's going to happen if he gets them? Basically, his idea and what makes him such a crazy person in so many people's eyes is that he thinks the only way to save humanity is to basically kill half the population of everything, because that will provide balance to the world, to the universe, essentially. So he gets these
Thanos
stones.
Thanos in grandiose terms.
Yes, basically, if he gets a hold of these rings, he can snap his fingers, and half of everything dies, and that will provide more resources for everybody.
I'm like, dude, who are you to say this? Now I do like that they changed up his motivation from his motivation in the comics. If anyone's not familiar with his motivation, in the comics, Thanos is in love with death. Yeah. Like literally, not like a guy who likes to kill people. He's literally in love with death. In the Marvel Comics universe, death is personified as a woman, as a female-bodied persona with just like a skull face, but that's actual death. And in the comics, death is like, okay, you want a piece of this? You want to get down? You want to get in? Then okay, impress me.
I need about 3.5 billion people.
Yeah, kill half of the universe, and that's what will get my attention. And Thanos is like, done. Like, damn, what?
Yeah, this is actually a little bit better.
You want to talk about high maintenance, yeah.
Yeah. He kills half the population for a one-night stand. Yeah, that would probably put a damper on things.
Man, sometimes you got to get wet.
Hey, man,
I don't know how ill death is, but now from what I saw, she was bony and dry. But maybe that's just my interpretation.
Wow.
We are going
skeleton
dark
in wax paper. Yeah.
Okay, but no. So they've definitely changed up the motivation in this picture, and I think that is a strong boon to the storyline. Because dude, they've been amping this up for so long that if it just turned out to be it's like, well, this great looming figure has been the proposed doom of all of us. Oh my God, what does he want? He wants to screw. I went to all this for what do you call? Are you kidding me?
Should have been in a voiceover too. When you next find the Avengers, Thanos is coming all for a boot. Yeah.
Watch too many of those old 1960s.
The voice of God guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, so
New York, 1962.
We're finding the Avengers, and they're basically still fragmented over the what happened in the last movie.
Yeah.
So they're like the whole Civil War thing. They're still like. They never really have that moment where they all meet and talk about anything. Like there's no point where Thor and Captain America and Iron Man are all like just chilling, like trying to patch things up. Basically through circumstance and necessity, that these three groups of people are kind of all split up, fighting their own battles, trying to take on. And Thanos, in that case, uses that advantage of them not being this one cohesive unit.
Yeah.
to his advantage, and that's what helps him kind of with his mission.
It's a really innovative storytelling mechanic, because in a comic story you have the teams like thrown together, and then they have to figure out a way to work out of this using their individual strengths. Marvel, the way they've approached this over the years, is letting us know everyone's individual story without making them seem directly as all part of one story. But if you've caught up with all the Marvel movies over the last 10 years, it has been one, not necessarily cohesive story, but one continuous story that made, basically this movie has all of like 2.5 minutes of setup to get to the story, whereas any other movie
doesn't have enough time. You know how it's like, I kept thinking anybody who dislikes this movie, that's your right to dislike it, but it's like, I'm thinking a movie this big, this movie not just like big in terms of like how much money they're spending and like how much they're gonna blow stuff up, but like just in terms of story, like I said, 10 years of story, all these characters and like these serious characters, like to put that together and do into one movie under 3 hours into a cohesive thing that people enjoy is such an incredible task. I have nothing but the most respect for the Russo brothers for even trying to do it.
Okay, now break it down right there, because we all know Joss Whedon did the first Avengers. And I think Age of Ultron too.
No, I think the Russo brothers did that one as well. The Russo brothers did the second. I think they came out and did the second Captain America movie.
Winter Soldier. Winter Soldier is still,
and it was really good. So I think that was one of the first movies they directed. Of course, I know the Russo brothers from Community. They were involved in that TV show.
Okay, they're not the ones that did that Saturday morning comic then.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
But
that's the Fusco brothers. Never mind.
Yeah. So the Russo brothers from Community, and then they got involved with.
I'm sorry. Okay, the Russo brothers from Community, who now did this major blockbuster movie.
Exactly. Yeah, I think that's the jump.
Hey. Way to step up then. Good for you. Kudos.
Exactly.
Out of your tax bracket.
Seriously. But yeah, so this is, and basically after they did Captain America, from what I understand, I mean, they kind of got the keys to the rest of the franchise stuff. So.
Well, Captain America was dope, man, and this was a good follow-up. I do like how in this picture they approached the events of Captain America Civil War and made that, like, it had a lasting effect. It wasn't like, well, off panel they made up, and I was like, no, characters still have beef in this.
Well, it starts out that way, yeah, because we see,
it's like that time Adam stole my shoes, and I was still mad at him the next Geek Down after that.
Yeah, nobody saw us make up off screen.
For real.
But we see Captain America, basically, he gets a phone call from a telephone from Iron Man's phone, and that's how he gets by.
That's a gag they used not a gag. That's a bit they used a couple of times in this, I do notice. And I won't say when else, because that's a spoiler. But that's the thing I realized. This is, y'all did that already.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I see why you're doing it now like this, but it's 2018. Who's using flip phones and other stuff? Anyways,
it was a flip phone, wasn't it? Yeah,
it was a flip phone. Yeah, funny. That was part of a bit in the previous movies too, and that's okay. This rewarded remembering things, carrying stuff over from the previous pictures. I really dug that.
Maybe he didn't change the phone. Maybe it's the same phone.
All right, wait. So hold up. Now, having seen this,
plan.
Who stuck out to you? Who jumped out, made an impression, good or bad, happy or sad?
Doctor Strange's character, because I did not like Doctor Strange the movie.
You hating on Bandersnatch?
I did not.
Cardamom?
I did not. I'm not hating on him. I thought he did fine with the role. I just thought the movie was kind of garbage.
The movie was garbage. Yeah.
So
I like
him in this movie. I thought was great. It kind of made me respect that character a little bit more, and he certainly brought out a little bit more of the badassery that I was hoping for. So that obviously, Steve Rogers, Chris Evans as that character, I think is one of the best things. I like just the quietness, the sadness to that character. I've always appreciated, where you got a guy named Captain America, could be this gun-ho America type guy, but instead he's kind of like more ashamed of being an American.
Captain America played by Larry the Cable Guy.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's like it could be that. It could be the whole just right-wing gun nut or something.
Dude, Chris Evans has really come into that role.
Right.
I admit I was skeptical when, years ago, I was skeptical when he was cast, because
I think everybody was, yeah.
Well, yeah, because he's this young guy who plays these kind of like cocky characters, and I knew him from. I could not separate him from.
Well, I thought he was going to be that cocky guy. You know what I mean? I thought he was going to be that, but instead he brought like a level of integrity to the character that I thought desperately needed. And I'm glad he was there to do it.
Absolutely. Also showed acting chops, man. I mean, I'm damn impressed, because the character has evolved, and we've seen the evolution of Steve Rogers in the first Captain America picture. Damn, I rewatched a lot of them over the weekend.
Yeah, you did. You did your homework.
I caught Captain America, the first Avenger too, And the evolution of that character from really innocent guy to like he's just coming into this role and he's really relishing being in this new body, really relishing getting to be the hero now, and also being the serious military guy to now he is just like I buy him as like a grizzled veteran.
Yeah.
And kind of the same as Chris Evans himself. He's a veteran of this movie franchise.
Yep.
You know, this dude has been through the shiz.
Yeah. I also really appreciated Thor in this one too, and this continues from that Ragnarok level where I'm like, okay, I really enjoy this character now. So he kind of carried the mantle a little bit.
I gotta fight you because my thing with Thor is I liked him at the end of Ragnarok. He was like he acknowledged that okay, now I'm in the position of power, and now I've got to be the serious ruler. I've seen what's out there. I've seen the real danger. I've faced horrors that no one should face. I've dealt with family. I've dealt with enemy. I've dealt with friend. Like he's someone who's been through it. And at the start of this, I got that same like cocky SOB from like the first Thor movie. Like this is the dude who this is him like just after he lost the worthiness to carry Mjolnir, you know. And I'm like, that feels like a step back for the character. I've got that about a couple of people. He was the first one that jumped out at me like, well, I think he's not this dick anymore.
Well, I think he deserved kind of being that dick, as you put it, because of what happens at the beginning of the movie, which we probably shouldn't get into fully either, because there's some serious events open this movie that you're going to be like, wow, this movie's... It really sets the tone. Basically, it opens up at the very end of Ragnarok, where they're on the spaceship carrying their people, you know, across the universe, and what happens on that thing will set the tone for the rest of the picture, being like, wow, this is very serious. It's real consequences. It gets pretty dark and pretty heavy. So,
Johnny, as someone who hasn't seen this, I will tell you, they throw you into the thick of it.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Into the thick of it.
Head first, my friend.
Into the pudding.
There is no, like, preamble, oh, Thanos' ship is coming up and it's ominous and so on. So it's like, no. This movie starts off, you get intro credits, and then you get rawness.
So Thanos is there right from the start.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
And then he is in full force. No Vaseline. Just in.
Big concern of mine is every great superhero movie like
Vaseline, I know.
focuses on a phenomenal villain, right? Like all the great ones kind of boil down to whether or not the villain was well portrayed. Does this one
Blank Man, Meteor Man, they all had the great comic movies.
Well, the latest Spider-Man, Black Panther, Dark Knight, right? All of them focused on
Punisher,
the villain.
Warzone.
Almost exclusively focused on the villain first, as one of the first things you see on screen.
Man,
yes. Yeah. No, but this is you're right. They a lot of those movies do that. This is, like I said, with Thanos, he is the dominant character of the whole thing, where the other superheroes are kind of split up their times all over the place. Thanos is front and center, and he's the one that he's the storyline that you're following. And so everything is built off of him, and Josh Brolin carries that role so well, I think, and I'm so glad that he's the one selected to do it.
You know, my thing with Josh Brolin is I was afraid we'd see too much of him because he's also going to be Cable in the upcoming Deadpool movie. Yeah. So I was afraid that through acting in that one, well, not just that. Well, yes, definitely that. But beyond that, also maybe spreading himself too thin. So maybe he wouldn't be giving his all in this production because he also had like 2 other pictures filming at the same time. You know? So I was worried that we wouldn't get his all. I know what he's capable of as an actor. I'm like, okay, this dude would be dope, except if he's doing all this at once. You know,
he's probably filmed it over a few years, and I think if he's gonna like hype it up for anything, it'd probably be this one. He knows where the money's gonna go. You know what I mean? That's just my opinion.
It would be too Wong Fu too.
Which I would watch if John Leguizamo comes back. That's it.
I don't know if he still has the legs for it now.
Come on, he does. He looks good. He just did Broadway. He was all right.
All right, hold on. Let's talk about Iron Man real quick. Because everyone was like, Robert Downey Jr. is checking out of these movies. He doesn't care anymore. He's not giving it all. I thought he was like really in your face in like a positive way. The problem with me, from my point of view, is though that this wasn't the place for it. This was a reversion back to the same Diggers. Tom, you agree? You agree? Yeah.
Agree.
Okay, this was the same. Like old school a-hole Tony Stark that we've seen him outgrow.
Yeah.
You know, that we've seen him go beyond, and it feels like they moved him back. Like they retconned.
Well, when the fate of the world is and the universe is kind of
you want to become the biggest jerk you can. I get it.
But you got to be you're the smartest guy in the room, so you got to let people know that too. I think is part of it. And he got at butts head. This is why I liked Doctor Strange so much, because him and Doctor Strange kind of butt heads a lot, and basically he gets called the douchebag right to his face, and I thought that was great, a great moment.
That was wonderful. It was the battle of the goatees, man.
Battle of the goatees.
All right, so then, what do you think of the Guardians in this picture? Guardians of the Galaxy met the Avengers finally.
Man, they were much needed comic relief. And it could have went too far, but like I think Dave Bautista as Drax is one of my favorite characters, and so he delivers a couple good lines. You get teenage Groot this time instead of baby Groot, instead of an adult Groot.
Groot's killing me because every time he
does that one line, he's like, "I am Groot," and they're like, "Whoa!" And they thought it was like this weird like.
I gotta learn to speak that language, man.
Yeah, man.
He's saying some foul stuff,
which is apparently they teach it as an elective on Asgard.
Yeah, that too kind of threw me.
Yeah.
Dude,
you speak Groot? Yeah.
But dude, this movie had it was tear jerking. It made me laugh, made me cry. I'm not ashamed to say I shed a couple of manly tears.
There was some heavy sobs. It wasn't from me or my friends who went and saw it. We were a little too tough for that. But there was
it wasn't from me.
There was some women.
It was from the more girly men.
There was some women behind me, and I was like, I wonder how old these girls are. And they were like 40-year-old women, like like deep gasping sobs.
Dare you? I just told you. I sat there and teared up in the movie, and you're like, yeah,
well, you know,
my screening, the women cried too. Like, damn.
Just saying, it wasn't me, man.
Hater. All right, Johnny. I promise you, when you see this, all right, you will. There'll be some trickles. All right, just some waterworks. I promise you. I'm promising waterworks.
I think I have a cue. It sounds like I have to watch Thor Ragnarok before I watch this.
Oh, come on, dude. How far behind are you?
That and the Ultron.
Age of Ultron.
Age of Ultron. I have to watch those two. I think
that's like 4 movies ago. Maybe more.
Yeah.
Actually, I think they came out with 7 in the last 2 months.
Oh, and Ant-Man. I didn't watch that one either.
You son of a...
No, you don't need
They keep
that.
releasing so many of them. It's hard to keep track.
Because they're on point, my friend. That's how they get down.
They keep taking... They're like, I want your money. I'm like, prove it. I mean, is it worthwhile?
Is it worth...
I'm not saying
Adam,
Avengers.
Adam,
I'm saying all
talk to your boy.
I'm just saying all the ones leading up to it. I'm saying all the ones leading up to it. Like we said earlier, Mysterion. What was that dude's name again?
Mysterion?
Magic Man.
Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange. Like,
how do you get you're trolling me? That's what's going on.
That's what's going on.
Man, I fell for it too.
The Mystery Machine. No, that's the damn band.
You got me. No, you know what? No, I was upset. I'll give it to you because you actually did get me right there. That's you earned that. You earned that right there. That's respect. You ass. All right, so what was I saying?
I don't know, man. I don't know where we are from here. But you're right. It was emotional. It was happy. It was going all over the place. It's a long movie, and it needed to be. It could have been like another half hour.
Yeah, but dude, you know
that would have been a chore, I think, though, a little bit too. So
they didn't overplay their hand though. What really got me is now, mind you, Thanos is the villain. Josh Brolin's playing the villain.
Yes.
But every time he talks, like we really see his motivation, dude. A couple of times, and maybe this was just me. I wanted to be on his side.
Yeah.
Like how many movies do you see where the villain wins you over? Now, mind you, I will point out as well. We did say kind of the same thing for Black Panther, but there's like parallels here you can't ignore. Black Panther, Killmonger and Black Panther. We liked what he was saying conceptually. In the actual like enacting of it, we're like, nah, dude, you watch your goddamn mind. But Thanos has like reason behind it. You know, and it's not the same thing like he just wants to put it in depth. This was like he actually has motivation where when he breaks it down, you're like, you know what? Well, goodness, sir.
And the way he justifies it too, like he's not
fall behind your wait, I gotta be on which side? Oh, well then no. I will not die for the cause. But besides that, it's like he almost had some good ideas.
Well, it's like he's the one he's in his mind he's sacrificed more than everybody else.
Yeah.
Too. You know, it's like if you and you see it, it's like you know what I have to do to get this done. I'm the one who suffered the most.
And you know what?
Honestly, and what gets done, obviously, it's one of the bigger. The thing we're not gonna spoil it or anything like that, but it comes to a conclusion that you're like,
it gets heavy.
Yeah, it gets real heavy, and you're gonna be like, a little concerned and a little confused on where they go from there.
Yeah, but dude, let's talk about him for a second because I expected this to be like some corny CG animation. I remember back at when we first saw him at like the end of Avengers and stuff, and he looks toward the camera, and everyone was like, "Oh!" It was this like I mean, back then it looked great. Now it looks cheesy and just plain bad. But the animation on him, it was like this weird animated blue face. Now I really want to point out, like, you see like creases and detail in his face. Did you notice in between those weird, like that weird ball chin he had?
Balchinian? He's a Balchinian.
He's a Balchinian. Even like they had like whiskers animated. Between there, like he had the 5 o'clock shadow.
Well, it's like everyone. I think. Here's my theory on the reason they put the sneak peek thing at the extra scene at the very end of the movie.
Tell them why you're mad at him.
Is because there's so many people are working on this movie. They're like, the only way we're gonna get people to see these names is put something at the very end. It's a 20-minute long credit scene every time. There's so many people working on this movie.
It's the most refreshing pee because I had to go so bad for the last half of this movie, but I could not leave the seat.
So the only way you're going to be able to see all those names, we got to put a little carrot at the end of it. You know what I mean? That we can sit through. That's the only way you're going to.
It was a good one this time, though. They've stepped their game up because I will say, up until this, still my Spider-Man: Homecoming is still my favorite one. Spider-Man: Homecoming had Captain America giving the
PSAs,
the futility of what was it, like false hope.
Yes,
or something like that.
So you got detention, and that a couple of those lines.
It was good, man. It was all right. I was with it.
I was with it too.
All right, so dude, I'm just gonna say it was Avengers Infinity War. I give it an extremely high thumbs up.
Yep.
I enjoyed this movie so damn much.
First weekend
and
worldwide too.
Yeah, it broke records. Records have been broken, yo.
Yeah, it's because movie tickets cost $50 now too.
Yeah, what the hell? And Movie Pass is screwing folks now too.
Man,
yeah, there's another one, Cinema Something, that was trying to take up that mantle.
Yeah,
and then Movie Pass sued him like, no, we got this. We're the best option for customers.
I don't know how they have any money. They probably sue him because they don't have any money.
I wouldn't be surprised, but it's just like, how you gonna take away a good thing?
You're right.
And they're like drug dealers.
Yeah, they are.
So you want a taste, huh? The first taste is free, or at least
the devil gives it to you as well.
Yeah, that's how they get down.
All right.
Wait, so you didn't give your rating, man?
I give it a thumbs up. Yeah.
Absolutely?
Yeah.
All right, 2 thumbs up. It's Avengers Infinity War. Tom, have we sold you?
I'm sold. I'm going to see it tomorrow.
Okay, cool. See, that right there was progress.
I think he made his decision before our review, though, somehow.
No, this was before I was talking to this man before the show. He's over there like, you know what? I don't give a man. Avengers. Marvel can eat it.
I hit Pat with a change my mind.
Yeah.
About Infinity.
One of those. Sitting at the desk with the sign.
Right? Him there with his cup of tea. Yep. All right. Okay, now we have been joined by Noye Brown West.
Hello.
Trying to sneak in all coy and casual like.
And then having trouble with my headphones, so you immediately notice me. I'm like, what the?
Yeah, your ninja skills are a little low.
These might work better. Do you want to try these?
Yeah, if those are screwing with you, give these a shot.
Those might actually fit too. Those are like cup holders onto your face.
I always thought I had a big head, but I just found out I do not.
Air traffic controlling. That's what's going on there. So
there you go.
Your seats are in the front and rear. All right, so Noye Brown West, thank you for joining us.